Now, I'm not looking to rob anybody in the woods. It's just freaking cold. Yeah, it's like somewhere in the 20s. Real feel like in the single digits or the teens or something like that. You'll see some snow on the floor here in New York. It's definitely a cold one. Taking you out here today, show you a folder that I think is built tough enough, handle the elements and handle such a harsh temperatures and, you know, wet snow, wet environment, just because of basically how the folder is built and how this folder, I think, could end up being a great companion along with obviously your fixed blade, which I recommend to always have when you're in an outdoor environment. Always have a good solid fixed blade with you. That's why we're going off grid. I'm going to show you this off-grid Scorpion V3, why I think it's just perfect for an outdoor environment like this. Also, these gloves are awesome. These are like, have that rubber lining here and also has the Kevlar lined in the gloves for this type of thing, for doing knife reviews. Basically, you can't cut, you know, through the gloves apparently, but you know, I'm not going to push hard and try. If you're interested in gloves like these things are awesome. You can basically, you have impact here that can protect fist and all that, making a fist. They're kind of just cut proof. It's pretty damn warm, and it also has the fingers where you can kind of just also use your cell phone. So I think these are pretty damn cool. So you're going to see a lot more of these gloves on me when I'm doing knife reviews. You know, what are the cuts that we get, you know, any type of protection is going to help. In hand, this thing is crazy comfortable. I'm going to go through all the measurements and everything like that, but I want to show you also just initial sharpness of the Magnacut. And we all know this is Magnacut steel. If I had mentioned it already, on this version 3 of the Scorpion, which is excellent that they started including the CPM Magnacut. We all know that Magnacut is going bankrupt and all that. Somebody's going to take it over. I don't think Magnacut is going anywhere. It's just too popular of a steel and it's too much in demand for somebody not to come, White Knight, to come in and take it over. So I'm not worried about that. Magnacut's not going anywhere. But let's do an initial sharpness of this Scorpion V3 and show you basically, like the Mamba, no surprise how sharp this thing is out of the box. You know, and that's basically what you want. You want to have a knife like Magnacut to be able to be this type of sharpness out of the box, because the whole point of it is you don't want to, you know, go in and have to sharpen it for a long time. And it's always good to have a good sharp edge right from the get-go. Polyurethane rope, kind of the same type of rope I would use in a campground, but you can see basically how sharp this thing is, where it's no effort whatsoever. There's not much you have to do in terms of sharpness. When you can see how good this thing cuts, it's really, really good. Use all the surface of the knife, and that's it. Voila, little strand there. Crazy sharp. A couple more cutting materials here, guys. Mind you, everything is kind of frozen because it's all been outdoors. This is some 3-ply copper wire. You kind of need to splice some wire or something like that. Yeah, you can definitely splice some wire. That's what you need to do with your knife. You can definitely do it with this. Magnacut is just some really amazing steel in terms of the edge retention, strength and durability of it is really awesome. The joy to know that basically you can use it and use it over and over again, and it'll last you. This is some sandblast hose, you know, from my other videos in here. This is also to test the locking, to put a lot of pressure on the edge, cut through some steel reinforced stuff, see if it doesn't damage the edge, because it can damage the edge, you know, for sure. And yeah, it's really kind of sailing through it fine. And again, all this stuff is really freaking frozen. Yeah, good stuff. You can see that's all steel reinforced. Obviously, I have my trusty fixed blade. This is the POWERHOUSE Solaris. Excellent, excellent fixed blade. I'll show you that a little bit later. And you have your deep pocket, deep carry in your pocket is the Scorpion V3. It's definitely a great deep pocket carry if you want to conceal it or anything like that, but it definitely looks so nice you want to show it off. But I understand certain states like mine. Now, if you guys saw my Mamba video, we're not going to do any crazy batoning because listen, the frame lock, it's strong, it's tough, it's going to handle anything you want to throw at it. But listen, it's a folder. It's not a fixed blade. They're not meant to baton. But I like to kind of push it just to show you the breaking point, to see basically how much you can push it and baton with it, and when the frame lock will kind of just fail on you. But even though the Mamba failed, it still didn't hinder the mechanism at all. It's still as solid as it was before. So we're going to take maybe some small pieces of wood this time instead of a big log to see if we can't baton that, and it's less pressure on the knife. See if it doesn't fail. So we're going to try it on the spine. We're going to try the front. So far so good. Didn't fail on me yet. We're going to keep on going. A little harder. Yeah, it's okay. So light batoning, you know, in a pinch, if you're out here, you know, you happen to not have your fixed blade near you by, you want to do some light batoning, I think you can definitely manage it, you know, as long as you don't like put it into like a big log or anything like I did with the Mamba. But I think if I did this with the Mamba from the get-go, I think it would have been fine, it wouldn't have failed. So yeah, light batoning, I would definitely say you can do it if you have to. Should you do it? No. You know, it is a fixed blade. Try from the side. Really pressure on that point. And the locking mechanism, I'm not trying to go through it. I'm just trying to see if it's going to fail on me at all. And really hit that point. So, yeah. Dug right in there. Whew. And, yeah. Point seems absolutely fine. No problem there. The edge is good. Lock is still tight. So yeah, light batoning definitely worked out a lot better with the Scorpion. Some light to moderately hard hits on some branches. Yeah, it skins like a freaking bushcrafting knife, I mean. Just really, really good. I tell you, for a thin blade, really has a nice hit on it. Checking the frame lock, yeah, still pretty firm. Got the jimping here, all the way up here. You can definitely really take a nice tight grip on it. If you want to do any fine notches or really get any fine like wood carvings here to help out, to assist in making a fire. Or if you just want to make a tent spike or anything like that, just a superb cutter. It really is. It really is a superb cutter. Probably handling itself a little bit better than the Mamba. And being basically that, again, it's PVD coated, black PVD coated, which I'm going to make a video on the PVD coating. Difference in the coating on the knives. Let me take this down a little bit. But with the black PVD coating, you probably get me a little bit better. And the fact that it's Magnacut and the corrosion resistance of Magnacut, it is just at home in this like wet environment, cold, harsh environment. You know, it's gonna keep on going, and it's a great companion knife to your fixed blade out here. What I like about this knife is you have, and I'm going to go through all the specs, but you got probably about a 4.9 inch handle. It's a very big handle, and you notice the jimping here on the top. So you can basically take a nice reverse grip and still have a thumb, someplace to hit your thumb. So basically, as far as penetration wise, you have such a solid feel of the knife as a reverse grip, keeping your thumb right there, and your blade, your hand is not going to slip out onto the blade. You can't always have Kevlar gloves on you. And for penetration wise, it's awesome. If you got to penetrate, wedge something open, dare I say, You can do that with this, or, you know, basically as a, you know, a defense grip, a knife defense grip, self-defense knife defense grip. Basically, you have that grip here and you have that solidity for keeping your thumb here to basically use it. You know, quick stabs, quick defense, quick slashes. Great grip. And you also have the jimping right on top here to make sure that basically your hand is firm and you got the sizable purchase of the handle for even a large hand, extra large hand. You're able to really get that reverse grip really well. Do some fine woodwork, okay, with that old man grip. You can definitely do that with this knife, okay, and also have the jimping there where you really can get in there and really just work on those notches really well. So it's a comfortable knife, nice solid frame lock. It's a complete package, man. It's a complete package for like just that nice companion knife, you know. The Scorpion V3. It's amazing that this is actually the third version of this knife already. First of all, thank you for obviously sending me the knife to review it and to show it to you guys, show it off to you guys, and show you what the latest and greatest of their premium line of knives and their folders are. I do have a recommendation for carry. I'll get to that at the end. But listen, the weight of this knife is only about 5.1 ounces. So here is the Mamba 3 that I did review on already. You can see basically between, if you look at the knives side by side, they're both great looking knives. This is obviously a little stouter as far as the handle scales being a little bit stouter and all that. This is a little bit more, not a little bit, it's more of the finer, you know, folder, more classier, finer type of folder, a little thinner in profile. And this is a little bit more of like a rugged type of feel, like the both titanium handle scales, but this has the carbon fiber inlay. But this handled itself probably a little bit better than the Mamba. I mean, maybe I just didn't do exact same test. This handled itself well. I did baton with this on a very big log and it failed. Whereas I think if I did some smaller logs, this might have not failed. But maybe the locking mechanism is a little better on the Scorpion. I don't know, probably not. But just to show you that basically light batoning, I think on both these knives will be fine. The lock will hold up. The harder log would basically really got to, you know, get into a big piece of firewood. That's not going to work. That's when you need a fixed blade for that. The blade length is perfect for me, man. It's a 4-inch blade, okay? I know 4 inches is the maximum in certain states, but 4-inch blade is a great size blade where you can do a lot with and you could do a little with. The blade width is about 1.25 inches, which I'm going to get to at the end for my recommendation. And it's got an HRC of 62, perfect for Magnacut. If they're really giving you an HRC of 62, that's a perfect HRC, perfect hardness for Magnacut. Anything harder than that you don't want, anything lower than that you don't want. So 62 is actually on the money. Obviously black PVD coating, which adds to the weather resistance, you know, of the Magnacut, even makes it better. Plain edge. It's got a blade style that's something between like a clip point and a harpoon edge. It's you can see the harpoon edge a little bit in there, you know, with the clip point. It's got nice thickness behind the point, nice jimping behind the point, a really nice looking tip. I really just, you know, I love just basically how they put these things together. Just examining the knife after doing some batoning with it, it seems pretty fine. I mean, no bends or rolls or anything like that from what I can tell. And it's a pretty good piercer. It's a nice sharp edge on there, nice fine point on there. So the fact that it didn't damage, you know, banging the log into it for batoning is a good testament. And the locking mechanism, for argument's sake, did not fail on any testing I did so far with this. Will it fail if I push it hard? Of course, it's not a fixed blade. Ambidextrous carry where you can basically reverse the clip. It's got a really smooth, creamy smooth ceramic ball bearings. I mean, it's kind of hard to do it with the gloves, but basically you can feel it. You can feel it when it closes. It's hard to describe, but when you basically disengage the lock, you can actually feel how smooth it is when it closes up. It's just zippy. It's just basically a fidget king, and it's just a pleasure to open and close. I mean, the detent and the engagement of this knife is butter smooth, and it is a solid, you know, rear flipper. The handle length, I was wrong by, you know, a point of an inch. It's about 4.8 inches. I think I said 4.9. 4.8 inches on the handle, which is perfectly, you know, has a lot of purchase here to give it all those different handle holds. Okay, like I showed you reverse grip earlier, really comfortable jipping on the side. The space is there to kind of fill in the gaps. You have the full titanium frame lock, with the beautiful carbon fiber inlays. You got T8 screws, which are the same color. You got also a titanium belt clip. It's just, this is one of those, you know, fully loaded type of knives, and you know, coming in at a price around $269. It's not cheap, but it's not crazy expensive. I mean, I challenge you to kind of find all the features on this knife. You know, you may find it, you can let me know what you got, but this is just a good deal. I mean, the Off-Grid's an American company. The OEM is Bestech, which, listen, Bestech has the reputation of making some really amazing stuff. It's just, it comes in at a great price and has great materials. This is a fully loaded, very capable, sleek, excellent knife. So Carrie, the only recommendation I would make to Off-Grid on a version 4 of this knife, I mean, it is a sleek knife. I love the sleekness of this knife, just the whole profile of it. I would say on version 4, if possible, I would make this a little bit wider. And I noticed that a couple of reviewers or commenters probably, you know, echoing what I'm saying here as well. If they made this a little bit wider in terms of the blade, because it's always such a nice appearance to have the blade, especially at the base of the blade, to be a little bit wider than the handle. This will be just completely badass when you kind of pull this knife out and kind of, you know, unlock it and show it. It'll be just even more of an appearance to have a wider blade, even a little distal taper with maybe like a reverse tanto or a regular American style tanto. I think that would be an amazing version 4. As sleek and beautiful as this thing is, I wouldn't change a thing. But if you're able to have this in your inventory and do a version 4 with like a little bit of a wider blade, I think this would be badass and freaking perfect. Just an idea, okay? I may not know shit, but I think I would prefer a really nice, a thicker blade, a wider blade on this. I think would be badass. But to sum it all up, guys, other than that, Scorpion V3 from Off-Grid, premium line of folders. I did the Mamba. This is the second that they sent me. And I honestly, people have been asking me, what do I like better, the Mamba or the V3? The Mamba V3 or the Scorpion, their version. I think I kind of leaning towards the Scorpion a little bit. As much as I love the Mamba, I think the Scorpion just, I feel like it handled itself better in terms of the cutting, the slicing. Maybe it's just the blade profile and all that. It didn't fail, you know, the locking mechanism didn't fail. And I just love the look of it. I love the carbon fiber inlays, the whole titanium T8 screws. Just the overall look of it is great. And you can see even just doing the steel belted cutting and stuff, the PVD coating is absolutely fine. Like I said, I am going to do a video on PVD coating. It's just a great knife, great looking knife, great handling knife. It's sharp out of the box. Like I said, guys, I'm not just telling you it looks good, and I'm not telling you it's got great materials, it's going to handle itself. I showed you it definitely handled itself well. In a cold, wet environment, I would definitely, in a heartbeat, carry this with me, okay, in accompany with my fixed blade. I think this is a great accompaniment knife. I would carry this around. I love this knife. In terms of a great, classy, strong carry, this will be a great everyday carry. Dare I say, maybe even a little bit of a work knife to cut things at work, and then out here in the wilderness. So it's the multi-purpose, multifaceted type of knife with the frame lock, the titanium, and the materials that it comes with to be a great all-around freaking knife. Well done, Off-Grid, for another great version of your premium line. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day here, guys. Basically out here, warmed up. I'm definitely, you know, basically bundled up enough where I can kind of enjoy it. Great day with my Scorpion V3 Off-Grid knife. Peace out, everybody. Ciao. And I'll see you in the next sword and knife video. Don't leave without seeing this video coming up next. Much appreciated, guys. Have a good one. Joe Steel, out.